Bitcoin is crashing. I noticed this here just this morning. I decided to look. It's crashing before the pre-market is even open for me, so I can't do anything about this in terms of like hedging anything or buying anything. So I'm just kind of watching it fall right now. I am looking at it as a buying opportunity because you'll notice here that when we go to the daily chart, this is the 2-month chart, but when we go to the daily chart, you'll notice that when it gets to where it currently is, it tends to go back up from here. So this is a wild swing here. We're down at 56,685 right now. I do think we are on a bit of a collision course with a lower price here, but I don't think we're going to go straight there from here. But we are below that area on the 2-month that I said was bad, which is that 60,500. We went right through that like it was nothing. So this is going to be a rough one. So, get your seatbelts on. This one's going to be tough. Here, even on the monthly, we are breaking solidly below what was going on here before. We are solidly below all the bodies of the previous candles. We're coming down. It looks like we're eyeing up that $53,000 mark. We are at the lowest point for the month so far of August. This is not looking great. Honestly, the next level of support from where we currently are is all the way down at $47,000. That's the higher $47,000 area, but that is not the best level of support. That's just the top of the wicks. We really want support. We're looking all the way down around $45,000 ish, $46 to $45,000 for that on the 1 month. So where is the salvation here? So on the monthly, yeah, that yellow ATR band around $46,000 is probably where we're going to end up. That's probably where it's going to catch us. But first, let's go down to the daily. Well, first, I'll take a look at the weekly. Yeah, weekly, we're almost at the bottom here. 49,000 is an area I expect to bounce. We knew this was likely going to happen on the weekly because, well, first, we opened up a hammer candle down here. That looked a little bit bullish, but obviously it wasn't. But it opened away from the yellow ATR band below it. So, right, we crossed below it, we opened below it, and we stayed below it, and we came back to it, failed at it, created an evening star here with these three candle patterns from July 15th, 22nd, and 29th, and we are coming down further. We are very likely going to meet the bottom of the ATR band here at $49,000. This is going to be catastrophic for Bitcoin miners, for MicroStrategy, for Coinbase, for anything that holds Bitcoin. This one's going to be a rough one. Now, I don't think it's going to keep going. It's not all-out crash, but you are going to see red in your portfolio if you're holding anything attached to Bitcoin here for the next couple of days, possibly weeks. Let's go all the way down to the daily. And again, this is not for panic. This is not to cause panic. This is just to recognize what's happening, where it could go, and and plan accordingly. If your plan is this is too much pain for me, then that is your situation. For me, I'm looking at this as a buying opportunity. Of course, none of this is financial advice or a suggestion to buy, sell, or hold any asset whatsoever. Now, here's the good part. Good part, daily. We had a double top right here, right? Top, top on July 27th and 21st. We crossed that midsection for it, the breaking point for that double top here on it looks like July 31st or so at $65,000. That's where that crossed, and that was, of course, yeah, that was July 31st. That's when we crossed below that midline there for the double top. We are now at the bottom of that move, so we've completed the double top move. The completion was anywhere between 58,000 and our current price level was the full extent of that move. We could go a little bit lower, but that not much lower before getting some sort of a bounce. We are also completely outside of the bottom ATR band. We usually don't spend a lot of time underneath there, maybe a day or two. Look, usually, let's see, last time we were under that was a while ago. Now, last time we were under that was back in August 2023. We stayed down there for about a week and a half going sideways before, well, we kind of went sideways for, about a month before starting to pick up from that. We went down. We fluctuated down at the bottom of the range, went sideways for a month before we went back up again or back down here. If you see a pattern, something like this, where you get a hammer candle down outside from beneath the ATR bands there, then we are likely to rocket back up. But if we get more of a pattern, something like we saw back here in August 2023, then we are looking at some sideways action before coming back up again. But Bitcoin does not tend to spend very much time away from the ATR band here outside of it, and we are way outside of it right now. We are significantly outside of it right now. So we are way oversold on this bad boy right now. But So I would look at it to come up to at least 61,600, 61,600 to 61,700. And from there, that is going to be a breaking point, that pink line there. If we cannot get above it, we're going lower. We're going into the 40,000s. Okay. If we can't get above that, if we do get above that, 66,000 is the next hurdle. If we don't get above 66,000, we are coming back down to the 50,000s. Okay. That's the game plan. So, bottom of the range, we're looking at high to mid 40s. Okay, high to mid $40,000 range here for the bottom. Currently, I think we're going to see a bounce up and then a further drop down if we do not get back above 61,600, and I mean in a hurry. Same thing with the $66,000 level. If we get there and we do not break it decisively, see how it broke below it decisively here on July 31st? That was a decisive breakdown. If we do not see a similar decisive breakthrough, much like back here on July 15th, if we do not see a move like that above the pink and yellow lines, we are going to see ourselves come back down pretty quickly. I mean, even when we did that, we were only above it, what, for 2.5, 3 weeks? We got about 2.5, almost 3 weeks of slight upward movement after that decisive break before a decisive, brutal move back down. So Bitcoin is in trouble right now. It is looking bad for the next couple of months. We could see a bounce up to 61.7 to $62,000 area before seeing it come back down. It could go as high as 66,000 though before failing and coming back down and back down hard. One thing that is concerning me here is if we go to the 2-month MACD, that is a white bar. That's a white bar. Now we have about another, well, I don't know, what is it, August 5th? We've got another 26 days or so, 26 days, something like that, before this candle closes. Yeah, 26 days, 23 hours, almost 27 days before this candle closes. If this closes and this bar is white, I am looking at a potential move down to the yellow ATR on the 2-month, which is currently at about $46,500. It'll curl up a little bit before we get there. It might find us at $48,000, but we will go beneath $50,000 if we do not see Bitcoin quickly get above $66,000. So be aware, pay attention, prepare yourselves for what may come. Be aware of what's going on, whether that's by setting stop loss orders or by piling cash so you can make purchases in the low move. I don't think it's going to stay there very long. I mean, I think it'll be like not quite like back there, but maybe like this one back here, right? From that drop from the 2-pump cycle in 2021, right? When it went way up, came down, created a big old double top a little bit higher. So this case, I mean, if we can't get out of this thing, whew, man, it's going to be a bit. It's very interesting considering how many people are buying and how many big institutions and pension funds are now buying that we're seeing this kind of sell off. But because usually those are like longer term buy and hold types of purchasers. So it's interesting. I'm kind of wondering who's doing the selling here. Is it you? Also, stop it. No, but that's all I've got for you today. Please like, comment, subscribe, share this video. Check out the Trade Cave store, link in the description. I've got about another week or so before I'll be back to my normal setup, and I'll be making the videos that you're used to seeing. But for now, it's going to be uploads kind of like this, like, oh, something happened, I better talk about that. Or if I get a moment, I can do a quick update on technical analysis for a lot of our favorite stocks here. But right now, I think Bitcoin was just the most important thing to talk about, especially with this falling.